Day 8 of training camp is in the books. That means it's time for another edition of Brownie Bites here on YouTube. I'm Darryl Ryder. Well, let's start with the news of the day. Well, sort of the news of the day. We'll call it the news of the day. Kenny Pickett back on the field after missing a few practices with that hamstring injury. Kevin Stefanski making that announcement before practice on Friday.
Injury front, Kenny Pickett will be back out there in a limited role today. He continues to progress. And then, I think the guys are doing a nice job understanding all the work that needs to get done. They're focused. Meetings have been excellent, so looking forward to another good day. And that's kind of mentioned to you guys before. I mean, obviously disappointed that he's not full go, but he's very, very much involved in everything we're doing.
Stefanski made it known that, yes, in fact, Pickett is still in the thick of that quarterback competition. It is a four-man race. Decisions have yet to be made on what the Carolina situation is going to look like as far as the preseason opener goes, even though the Panthers have made the decision to start their starters. Now, Kevin Stefanski joined the afternoon drive with Nick Wilson and Jonathan Peterlin on 92.3 The Fan Friday afternoon. Here's a couple of highlights from that conversation.
Are you close to a quarterback decision?
In terms of naming a starter?
Yes.
No, yeah, I think we have a goal in mind, a time in mind, but we're very much letting this process play out, very much letting these guys keep competing and seeing what they're doing, but have a plan in place, and then we'll really make those decisions based on the calendar and also based on how the guys are performing.
Well, I got to ask you about the rookie quarterbacks. We'll start with Shedeur. What kind of progress have you seen from Shedeur?
Yeah, I'd put Shedeur right in the boat of all these rookies, and I'm really proud of these guys. They're fighting like crazy. We're throwing a ton at them. I think when you think about what these rookies are going through and off the field, on the field, we brought them in early. We had 5 extra days with the players, and in particular the quarterbacks. They're spending a lot of time in that meeting room where you start to get into the minutia of this position, and I think Shedeur, Dillon, are really working hard. They're very lucky to be in a room with Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, Deshaun Watson, Bill Musgrave, Tommy Rees. There's a lot of football that's being discussed, and I think those guys are having the right attitude where every single day they're trying to learn more off the field and apply it here on the field.
How much have you thought about the preseason plan, and is that more of an individual vet decision, or is that more from your side of things?
Well, I think certainly you're making decisions individually based on players. With every decision you make in terms of what you're even practicing is based on what you think the football team needs to be ready for week 1, a 17-game plus season, if you earn that plus. So it's really based on the player, what we feel like they need. We have a plan in place, and we'll see how it goes over the next couple of days, and we'll pivot as necessary.
Well, in addition to the nitty-gritty of football, Stefanski talked a little Pearl Jam. Of course, we know Nick Wilson, big Pearl Jam fan. So is Kevin Stefanski. And, oh, yeah, we got a Happy Gilmore 2 review from the coach.
I was curious if you watched Happy Gilmore 2, because the one thing everyone always talks about your swing, your golf swing. I know you're into the sport.
I stink. Yeah.
No, you have too good of a swing to say you stink.
Peterlin said you're too good at golf.
That was my
theory going there.
No.
Honestly, I need my head coach to stink a little bit more.
Yeah, no, your head coach stinks. Your head coach knows his way around the course and has fun, but he stinks. Saw Happy Gilmore 2. Initially I wasn't thrilled that they were making it because it won such one of my favorite movies and all of our favorite movies if you're our age. And I watched it and I thought, okay, that's fine.
That's kind of how
they had fun. They had fun. There's,
the first hour was pretty fun.
Yeah, Shooter was outstanding, but my kids loved it. So maybe that's the story. The new generation enjoyed it.
Joe Flacco had arguably his best day of training camp thus far, while Dillon Gabriel, not so much. He seemed to struggle out there. Head coach Kevin Stefanski was on with the afternoon boys earlier, and one of the things he did acknowledge, a little bit of a sloppy practice. To break it all down, let's welcome in Coach Riz, Lance Reisland, our co-host for our tailgate show this football season prior to every Browns game on 92.3 The Fan. And Coach, let's start, as I mentioned, with the quarterbacks. Joe Flacco, the arrow up. Dillon Gabriel, the arrow down.
Yeah, I think it's pretty fair to say. I think Flacco has not gotten enough credit all camp. He's been really solid all camp, and what he gives you that big throw, right? And right now with an offense that's struggling running the ball a little bit inside, they're doing some things outside a little bit in the run game, but he's a guy who's going to have to make a big throw like he did to Jamari Thrash in the red zone. He's been kind of making those big throws all camp, and I think that's kind of what gives him the best chance to win. Dillon Gabriel, on the other hand, didn't have a great day product-wise, but I thought the process was pretty good, right? So he's getting into pretty good pass protections. I saw that a couple times. It seems like he understands when he has a canvas understand a play, get into a better play. But the product wasn't very good today. He overthrew a couple guys. He just seemed like his timing was off a little bit. So again, they're going to have to move the launch point. He struggles sometimes when he's in the pocket just because of that height. I think they know that with him, and he's just got to make sure that when the play is presented to him, he makes that throw. He missed a couple today.
Everyone wants to focus on process, or I should say the actual results here in camp. It's interesting you bring up the positive aspect, though, with the process. As a coach, when you're back in the film room and you're breaking down what was a tough day on the practice field, how much weight do you put on the process versus the actual result?
Well, obviously the product is what wins you games, right? But you can't get to the product without the process. And when you have a tough day like this, if you're doing other things right, your ball handling was good, you do everything right, then you say, hey, I'm going to have a bad day, but I did everything else right. And it's kind of like what I see with Shedeur. Shedeur, I thought, had a pretty solid day. They put him in empty a little bit, which kind of reminds me of when he was in Colorado. He gets rid of the ball quickly. When he's on his first read, he's very good. And he's very accurate. He delivers ball. His footwork's very good. And then his next progression is when he has to get in the second, third read, which he was unable to do at Colorado with no pass protection. So again, when you have a tough day like Dillon did, you go in and you got to take the positives, right? You got to forget a bad day or good day and say, hey, listen, I did this right. Tomorrow I'm going to deliver the ball on time and be accurate with it.
Browns will be back to work Saturday morning, 9:30 a.m. We'll hear from Kevin Stefanski around 9. Coach Riz will be out there. I will be as well. Want to thank you for watching, as always, on YouTube. And a quick reminder, hit that subscribe button on the 92.3 The Fan channel. For Coach Riz, I'm Darrell Ryder with the Browns out at training camp in Berea. For Sports Radio, 92.3 The Fan.